That we are live, so welcome and tell me, what do you think would happen in the world if all of us would recharge our batteries as often as we recharge our phones? Think about it for a while. What would happen? What do you think would happen in the world if all of us we would recharge our batteries as often as we recharge our phones? I think it's a good reflection to start with, and I welcome you to this live on Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube about time to recharge. We're close to mid 2026, and I thought it's a good time to reflect on the last 6 months and check if, to look at, what has worked well, what has not worked so well. Are you on track with your goals? Maybe you've already reached all of them. Maybe you have not really started. You're not where you wanted to be. And so we're doing this reflection to check, okay, how do you want to move forward for the next 6 months? And then what you decide, how you want to move forwards in the next 6 months, that you commit to that. So actually, it's mid 2024. Tomorrow will be the summer solstice here in the Northern Hemisphere. And if you are interested into that as well, on Saturday will be the full moon. So a lot of things are happening right now. In case you don't know me, I am Carolyn, and I love helping impact-driven leaders find meaning, clarity, and joy at work and have the time and the energy to live their life to the fullest. I do so in English, French, German, and also Swedish. I have more than 20 years of experience in the insurance, reinsurance, risk management, and actuarial fields, having worked as an actuary and a risk manager in different countries, in different leadership positions. And my last corporate position was head of operational risk and risk reporting at Hanover Re in Germany. And I've always found myself working in international environments with people from different countries. So now for the last 7 years, I've been working as an international coach, mentor, trainer, and also keynote speaker. So together with my clients, I focus on topics like communication, presentations, leadership, resilience, strategy, and also culture. I am originally from Canada and I'm now based in Portugal. So let's start. This is here a battery. You know this very well from your phone. If you imagine that you have an inner battery inside of you. I often ask this question to participants in my workshops. Imagine you have an inner battery right now. How full is it at this moment? For me, it's 5:04 here in Portugal. And how full is your battery? Is it like 90%? Is it 10%? Is it 66.7? Because you have a good computer program, so you can calculate this. So if you want to, I invite you to share in the chat what this percentage is. How full is your battery? So I get kind of the vibe in the room, let's say. We'll check if I see some answers. Yes, I can tell you, I think in the video that I put on social media yesterday, I was telling you that I'm quite tired still. I mean, I also need time to recharge. I came back this weekend from a long trip within Europe, and we were driving with a car. It was very exciting. It was also tiring, I realized. So, also for me, it's time to reflect and time to look into the next 6 months and how full my battery is. Actually, it is something like 60%. I don't like it so much. I prefer to have over 70 at least, but it's just life. So things happen, life happens. So maybe you slept well, maybe you had a deadline today and you're just, you worked very, very hard the last days and you feel tired. Don't judge this. It's just a number to start with. It can give you an indication. Maybe it's only today that it's not so good and tomorrow will be fine again. Maybe you have really a lot of energy, so very good for you. I had written in my invitation to this life to bring pen and paper. So I invite you to grab a pen and take a piece of paper. And to start with, just have it on landscape. And you'll just start, here at the top, just write the title of the life, Time to Recharge, because if you are listening, maybe you feel like you would like to recharge or you would like to know how you could do that. Just stick to the beginning here, time to recharge. Then write how full your battery is, between 1% and 100%. And write the date. You can even write the time because, for me it's after 5, but for you it's another time, maybe. And today, 19th of June, at this time, I just realized a few hours ago that right now there are a few games of the football Euros championship. So I guess that some of you will watch rather the replay than you are now live. But I thank you for being here live, or I thank you for watching the replay. Even if you are here live and you are doing the exercise that we will be doing right now, you may want to rewatch the live again in the next days to make sure that you are doing the exercises properly. Let's see, and because maybe right now you just thought, oh, I just want to listen. I don't want to think much. I don't want to reflect much, and that's fine. Maybe you're not so much in the mood to do this, but in case you are, just participate for sure. So think about, if you think about at the beginning of 2024, you were planning, you were thinking about some goals and objectives that you wanted to reach, whether personally or professionally, all is fine. So now I want to check, where are you with that? Where are you with the actions, with the steps that you had decided to take to reach your goals? So that's why on your sheet of paper, I will invite you to draw a line in the middle. Just draw a line in the middle. So you have 2 halves. Don't bother now what's written on it. We'll do it step by step. And go on the left side of your sheet of paper here and draw 3 blocks or 3 rectangles. You can just put 2 lines here so you have three blocks. In the first block, you will write input is equal output. The second one, input is smaller than output. And the third one, input is bigger than output. So first one, input equal output. Second, input smaller than output. third one, input is bigger than output. And I will invite you to think about the things that you have done in the first 6 months, and think about the energy that you put into it, the input that you gave, and compare it with the output, with the results that you got out of that. So in the first block, where you have input is equal output, it's this things that you did, you gave energy to, and that gave you the results that you kind of expected, or it felt like it's a give and take. So maybe you are managing a project and everything goes according to schedule, and it's kind of easy. You put energy, you put time in it, but you get the results that you were supposed to get. Or maybe you had decided to start running, and you run 10 minutes every second day, and you feel much better. So you get the results you wanted. If we think about the other block, input smaller than output, this is the stuff that it's so efficient. You did a little bit, put a bit of energy into this, and you got fantastic results. This was so easy. Maybe you were you started to recruit for a new member in your team, and just someone said, well, there's this person in the other department who is looking for a new job, would be interested, and you just had to interview quickly this person, and that was it. So you put really little energy, and then this easy results. This is very efficient. Perfect. But then in the last block here at the bottom, it's where the input was bigger than the output. So you put a lot of effort, and you did get very small results. It's a bit frustrating, let's say. Maybe that was the idea to start, because you know that in the long run, you will have better results. But still, even if it's the case, please write it in this last block. So think about that, about the things that you've been doing in the last 6 months, with the idea, I'm moving towards my goal and my objectives, and compare the input that you gave to it to the output, and put each of these things in the corresponding block. I know we're going a little bit fast today, so that's why I will invite you to rewatch the live. It stays on the platforms, it stays on Instagram, it stays on LinkedIn and on YouTube also. So that's the beauty of doing a live like this. So there's one thing that I would like, how can I say? Why do we always do this reflecting and planning and stuff like that? And I would like to make an experiment with you, or to invite you to experience something, maybe something new. Maybe some of you already know this. And while I will be talking, you will be breathing like you are doing right now. This is something unconscious that everybody is doing. So I will invite you even to close your eyes. And don't be afraid. I mean, anyways, maybe you're alone when you're listening to this, and it won't last long, and it's very easy, and I'm not gonna tell you how to breathe or whatever. So I invite you to close your eyes and to just breathe. I'm not gonna ask you to breathe through your big toe or through your belly or in your head. Don't worry, none of this. Just notice your own breathing. Don't even judge it. And notice whether it's deep or it's shallow, whether it's calm or nervous. Maybe it's fast or slow, if it's easy or difficult. Just connect with that breathing, with how it is. Just observe. It's just the way it needs to be. So while you're breathing in and breathing out, imagine that you split that breathing in 4 phases. And the first half of breathing in is phase 1. The second half of breathing in, close to getting full expansion, is phase 2. The first half of breathing out is phase 3. And the second half of breathing out is phase 4. So just breathe in and breathe out and notice these 4 phases. I will repeat them. The first half of breathing in, when you start breathing in, it's phase 1. The second half of the breathing in, just as you reach a full expansion, is phase 2. When you start breathing out, it's phase 3. And the second half of breathing out, when you leave all the air out, it's phase 4. So notice. And notice if there is a phase where you feel most comfortable, that you especially find good in. It doesn't have to be, but maybe there is. So maybe it's in phase 1, maybe it's phase 2 when it's the full expansion, maybe it's phase 3 when you finally can breathe out a bit, maybe it's phase 4 when your lungs are empty. And now I invite you to open your eyes. And if you want to share in the chat which phase you felt most comfortable in. So I can tell you that I used to like very much phase 2. I still like it. And what you have observed is up and down in the breathing, it's like waves. It's just like this. That's the drawing that we can make. And I said, let's split it in 1, 2, 3, 4. And that could look like this, 1, 2, 3, 4. And the thing is, it continues on and on and on. Always is 1, 2, 3, 4 until what we even call the last breath. So this movement, this 1, 2, 3, 4, it keeps you alive. You don't notice it. It happens just by itself, but it keeps you alive. And the 1, 2, 3, 4, each of these phases has its own function. I mean, a doctor could tell you more about that, but each phase is important. You cannot say, well, I don't like 4 very much, so I'm not going to do it. Try not to breathe out, to leave all the air out. It's not going to work very well. Or you cannot say, oh, I love 2 because, well, it's the full expansion, so I just want to do 2. And you will be, it's not going to work. 1, 2, 3, 4, they are all important. And this is the movement that keeps you alive. So it's very robust. It's very resilient. resilient. And because it's always 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's always more or less the same, we could draw it in a circle. 1, 2, 3, 4, that goes around and around all the time. We could transpose this to even the 4 seasons if you would want to. 1 is kind of spring, 2 is summer, after 3 is autumn, and 4 is winter. What I did, I transposed this to a management cycle that maybe some of you do know. I'm not sure about that. It's the PDCA cycle. It's plan, do, check, and adjust. So this is something that can be used in the small things that you do or in the bigger things that you do. So you start a plan, you do the stuff, then you check whether it worked as planned or not, and then you adjust accordingly. And it goes on and on. So you make sure that you can improve the processes or that you can reach your goals. So you can do this in the small things and in the bigger things. PDCA. I like to maybe change a little bit the words for what we are doing today. I could keep those ones, but we could say it's plan, perform. That's what you did, plan, perform. Plan in the beginning of the year, you perform. And today we are reflecting, and we'll make sure you rest too, Plan, perform, reflect, and rest. And remember, this is it's base. If we think it's based on the breathing, it's a very robust and very resilient system. So, as I said, at the beginning of the year, you plan, you perform. Today, we are reflecting and resting. That's what we are doing when we look at the last 6 months. So, now we want to look at the next 6 months. It means we will check from this how you want to plan and perform during the next 6 months. So I will invite you to take again that piece of paper. And now we will go on the right side of that piece of paper. And there you will draw 2 rectangles, 2 blocks. You can just put a line in the middle so you have two parts. And in the upper part, you will write what you want to do more of. And it can be that what you wrote before is giving you a good indication, where the input was equal the output. It's pretty good. Or where the input was, the output was bigger than the input. It's perfect. So you may want to do more of that. The things that are efficient, the things that give you energy, that helps you while you're doing this, you reach your goal and you almost recharge at the same time. Look, here I wrote 1, 2, 3. You can write 3, you can write 10 if you want to, but very important is that there is at least 1. It can only be 1 if you want to, but important is that you will do more of that thing, that you will commit to that. Not that you have 10 things here and they are all on your to-do lists, and that's very nice to have, and they just stay on the to-do list. So 1, maybe only 1, or maybe others, but make sure you commit to them. So what do you want to do more of in the next 6 months? Because it gives you the results you want easily, efficiently. It keeps your energy high as well. So in the lower block, what do you need to do less of? Because, if you do more of something, the day only has 24 hours. That may mean you need to do less of other things. And here, the stuff that's not helpful, maybe the stuff that you've put a lot of effort, you didn't get the result you wanted, forget them, do less of them, delegate them. You ask somebody who is better than you are. So think about this. I also wrote 1, 2, 3, 4. You can write as many as you want, as long as you do them. So important that at least that you have one, so that you start with that and you commit to that. And if you want to, you can, at the bottom of the columns, you can write from January to June 2024, and on the right side from July to December 2024. So you have your perfect, on one side, you have your reflect, rest, and plan and perform. Because now I guess it's summer, at least in the northern hemisphere. So you will have time to recharge on vacation. Maybe you already had some vacation. Summertime feels always like more the time when life feels a little bit lighter, when we feel like we take the time to recharge. But we need to take the time every day to recharge. So it was a lot. Right now, it was a lot with this exercise, and maybe you're not finished yet. Maybe you feel like, oh la la, I need to take more time for this. Maybe later tonight, maybe in the next days, you will want to rewatch it. You will want to think about that. Or maybe you did it right now and it's like, oh, this is so clear. I know where I'm going. That's perfect then. Good for you. Because I know that, life happens. Life happens within you. Life happens outside of you. And sometimes, we feel like we prioritize things that don't really belong to us. But now it's time to prioritize your own, to focus and prioritize on your own do's and your own don'ts, because nobody will do it for you. So if you need help, if you need support with this exercise, or if you need help and support to find meaning, more clarity, more resilience, more energy, more joy, get in touch, book a call, connect with me, follow me. And also, I want to let you know, please stay tuned, because the next live is taking place on Tuesday, July the 16th, sorry. This is after the Euro, so there won't be any football games that will disturb us, let's say. So Tuesday, July the 16th, at the same time, depending on your time zone. This time I will have a guest, and we will be talking about risk. So check for my posts in the next weeks so you will learn more about that. I thank you so much for being here. I thank you so much for watching the replay as well. And I want to wish you a wonderful evening and a wonderful day. All the very best. Ciao, ciao.